What up, Muma? How we doing, Wiz? Welcome in. You guys are in here so fast. Go. What's up, Jatana? How we doing? I'm tired, you guys. I am tired. Gonna have to crack open a can of some cold brew after this. Mondays are brutal. You're not wrong. All right. Gloves on. We're ready to go. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? We'll give it a few minutes here. We'll let people show up a little bit and then we'll get started. I show how much your big screwdriver costs, 60 bucks. I think when I got it, it was $69 or something like that, plus shipping. Something like that. So for me, it ended up being like 80 bucks total. It's a great screwdriver. I love it. It is a really good screwdriver, not gonna lie. I've been using it for quite some time now. It definitely, you know, got a little more wear on it. You know, the plastic on the handle isn't quite as shiny and, you know, like shiny and free of scratches like it was when I got it, but it still works great. You know, works great. Yeah, it's got a ratcheting mechanism, and then you just twist this little front piece, and then you go the other way. It's got a super strong magnet on it. All the extra bits that it comes with are in the back. It's great. It's awesome. What up, Scotty? How we doing? All right. Today, we are building, honestly, just an incredible. What up, Ice? How you doing? Welcome in. So we're building a pretty cool PC today. This is going to be what I would consider mid-tier for most people. If you're looking at like building a new PC with all new parts and stuff, it's kind of on the lower end, but it is going to be an awesome PC for gaming. It's got a Ryzen 5 7600X, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, got this nice air cooler from ID Cooling, 750 watt power supply, MSI Pro B650 motherboard, and then we've got an RX 7700 XT from ASRock. All right, we're gonna build a computer, Ice. That's what we're doing. Mr. Prof, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, that's the build we got today. Nice little easy build, you know? Nothing too crazy, nothing too hard to do. Siebes, what is up, my guy? You're a broke Texan. Yeah, that's fair. So, I mean, that's the hard part about when you're talking about tiers, right? I mean, for a lot of people, like $1,500, which is about what this cost for me to build it and ship it to somebody, like $1,500 is a lot. Like, that's a lot of money. I get it. When you're talking about what's available for computer builds with new components, this is like on the lower end in terms of cost. Like a 4090 by itself costs more than this entire PC. Just the 4090. I'm from Idaho. It's in the U.S. Desmond, what's up? Oh my gosh, we got a bunch of new subs on YouTube. Let's get some shout outs going. We got Lionel Arch and we got RVGM Official, Ethan Quakemaster, Night Slayer, Snagged Art 7998, Milan Balog, and SVA Savage coming in with those subs. If you haven't yet and you're on the YouTube stream, make sure you hit that little double click on the stream, get that thumbs up, and make sure you sub to the channel if you want to see more stuff. You know, so we're constantly putting stuff out. You have a DeWalt one that's similar. Use it all the time. Work on equipment. Yeah, exactly. Like if I didn't use this all the time here, this would be like my go-to. Just all like I just like if I needed to work on something in the house, just like throw it in my back pocket and like it'd be perfect because it's got a bunch of different bits. Unless you need something like real specialty, it's got you. That's all you need. Seeps, how we doing? Whiskey Warlock, what's up? You're a broke Missourian. What's up, Whiskey? You can find them at Lowe's too for less. The ratcheting mechanism inside is a lesser grade. Yeah, I think I saw Bradford Skeldorado put out a video comparing this with a couple of other versions. I don't remember which one he had. I don't think it was the DeWalt one, but he had like a Craftsman or something, and then he had like an Amazon Basics one, and he compared them. And yeah, they're all kind of okay. You just kind of, you know, you get more if you pay more kind of thing, but like totally usable. Especially if you're using it like this is really nice for electronics because it's got a real gentle ratchet. But if you're using it on like a vehicle or like equipment or something, like you don't need a ratchet that turns that easily, right? What's the difference between DDR4 and DDR5? Form factor, speed, lots of things. But yeah, basically in essence, DDR5 faster. There's a lot of things that they've changed since DDR4, but does yours have 1/4-inch socket adapter too? This one does not come with it. It only comes with 12 bits, and it's basically just like Phillips and standard screws, octahedral, whatever, hex bits, I guess. Allen key bits, essentially, whatever you call those. It's got a bunch of Allen key bits. It's got this one really strong magnet, and then it's got a couple of square bits too. So I don't know if these are, I don't know what that actually fits to. I'm not sure. I've never used the square drivers on it before. Do yourself a favor and get the adapter so worth it when you're working on vehicles. This doesn't leave my office, so this is like strictly for computers and stuff. Botrix joined the channel. Wow, is Botrix actually going to work on the vertical stream today? That would be crazy. Get one for vehicles. I have like a whole screwdriver set that I use when I'm working on vehicles, and that's usually what I use at home because it's like it's expensive to, you know. I don't want to have to buy another one. I think I have most of the tools that I need in order to work on my car at this point. Are you talking about like an adapter to go from, so you're talking about like an adapter to go from like this to a 1/4 socket? Oh yeah, I don't have a ratcheting screwdriver at home. I just use my regular screwdrivers or my like actual ratchet set. It's like you're an engineer or something with all these tools. I know, right? Engineer, home mechanic, all that good stuff. What brand of CPU cooler do I like the most? Here's the thing. I really love Deepcool products, but they can't be sold in the US anymore. So I'm still kind of trying to find a good replacement for Deepcool stuff, especially when you're talking about more budget-friendly CPU coolers. ID Cooling seems to have some pretty good ones, so we're probably going to be using them a good amount on some of the more budget builds. And then I have Team Group AIOs. Team Group AIOs are really nice. Lee & Lee makes good AIOs. There's a lot. There's a lot of good brands out there. WhatsApp. What's up, Ghost? Are you asking if I have WhatsApp? I don't. It's a question. Is that a question? Or is that a what's up? What's up, WhatsApp? Got it. I think I figured it out. Why can't they be sold in the US anymore? You can Google it, but I'll tell you. So what happened was with all of the like war in Ukraine, stuff between Russia and Ukraine, the US actually sanctioned a bunch of like electronics and other things that you can't sell to Russia if you want to continue to sell stuff to the US. And Deepcool violated that by selling some sort of computer components. I don't know what they all were. I think they were just regular old computer components. But electronics are a huge part of like the war effort now, I guess. So yeah, they basically slapped Deepcool with like a huge sanction and said you have to pay like $8 million in fines, and until that point, and there might be other like litigation stuff that they would have to go through, but up until they like go through all of that stuff, like nobody's allowed to sell Deepcool products in the U.S. Like even like retailers like Newegg and stuff, like after a cutoff date, like they weren't allowed to sell Deepcool products in the U.S. It's crazy. Okay, let's get our CPU in here. This is a Ryzen 5 7600X. I think this is a 100 and something watt. I think it's like a 105 watt TDP. Ballin'. If you're asking how I'm doing good. I'm tired, I'm doing good. It's Monday, you know? I didn't go to bed on time, stayed up late, and I've been working all day, so. Oh well. Yeah, so they, Deepcool messed up, which is really unfortunate because they made a lot of really good stuff for really reasonable prices. Like CPU coolers. What the? You gotta be kidding me. It's lame. Sticker ripped. CPU coolers, power supplies, what else? Fans, cases. You know, they were making a lot of really good stuff, and it was all like really reasonably priced. Yeah, big goops on their part. Maybe they just thought they wouldn't get caught. I don't know. Okay, we got our Ryzen 5 7600X in. Let's get our SSD installed. Which GPU are we using? We are using an ASRock Challenger 7700 XT in this build. The customer wanted AMD CPU, AMD GPU, so we said, all right. All right. Peel number one, fail. All right, jeez. I used to think I was a professional peeler. Wow. How's the build going? It's going good, Mervin. We just started. How are you? How much is the full build? So this build was around just over $1,500. So that includes my shipping costs to get it to the customer, as well as like my build fee and everything. I think just in parts, I was looking at it, it's around $1,100 something dollars. If you, oh, okay. I guess we will, did this come with a M.2 volt? It did. Okay, we'll use that. Interesting. So we probably could just use the heat sink to hold it down, but we've got one of these. We might as well use it. Brazil. Hello. I've never been to Brazil. I have a good friend that's from Brazil, though. I think he said he was born and raised in Sao Paulo. Okay, there we go. Now our 1 terabyte SSD is installed. This should get decent FPS in Warzone in 1440. Yeah, you should be, yeah, in the 140-ish range probably in Warzone. 1440p would be my guess. Why did I put that back in there? I have to put that heatsink back on. But yeah, so roughly $1,500, and that includes build fee, shipping, taxes, all that good stuff. It's not too bad. GPU and CPU. Type in, actually, someone type in exclamation point specs. S-P-E-C-S. Exclamation point S-P-E-C-S. And that'll give you the full specs of the PC. Is $750-ish a good price for a full build with a 7600X and a 3060 Ti? I don't know where you would be able to get one for that price if you're talking US dollars, but if you can get one for that price, that's not bad. 3060 Ti will definitely bottleneck your CPU, but you know, it's not a bad GPU. It's just your CPU can outdo it. You know. There we go. Thank you. Love the iFixit case for the same reason. I know, isn't it so great? I use it like that all the time. I use my iFixit screwdriver occasionally, but the case is perfect. I use the top literally every build. So yeah, there we go. We've got a 7600X ID cooling A410 CPU cooler. Got the MSI Pro B650P. 32 gigs of RAM. MP44L 1 terabyte SSD. Why is that stuck down there? All the good stuff right there. But yeah, so your CPU will get a little bottlenecked running a 3060 Ti with it, but I mean, it's definitely still usable. Like you'll still be able to game with it, no problem. And for that price, like it's kind of hard to complain, you know? Oh yeah. Peel number 2, successful. Okay. We gotta get this guy installed on that. Square drive. I'm in the furniture industry and we use all square drive screws because a stripped or rounded off screw would mean a ruined piece of furniture. I imagine it's more expensive to manufacture. It also might just come down to availability. Like, not everyone has square drive stuff, and so they don't use it. Those are my guesses. Peel number 3, not 2, but a pass. What? All I peeled was, I peeled this right here, and I peeled that. What else have I peeled? What are you talking about? Just because I peeled both sides of this, that doesn't count as 2. You silly goose. The peel is the thing that I'm peeling off. If it was meant to come off as one piece, then it's one peel. Oh my gosh, why is that so strong? Just break it on the table. There we go. Joselito! Welcome back. It's good to see you. There's just little gates, like these come kind of like together. Like you have to like snap them apart, so I wanted to get all those little gates off. Also, I feel like I forgot how this goes together. I might figure it out here in a second though. The only thing I hate about getting an AM5 CPU is getting DDR5 RAM. Yeah, but it's like future-proof, right? Like, you don't have to, I almost threw that away. You don't have to, like you won't have to upgrade your RAM or your motherboard in a long time if you get AM5. For what? Oh. No. Okay, so it does just go right on the top. All right, I thought there was something else. Nope, so these guys just go right on top of here. Like so. And we've got some AM5 brackets. You have the same motherboard? No way. I think this guy. Those are pretty far apart, right? Yeah. Okay. So got those. Get our bolts out here. Okay. How's the website coming? It's coming. I'm a little frustrated that we're not done with it yet. I think we're like within a day or two away at this point. Not been super happy with the time it's been taking to get to launch, but whatever, we'll get it. More like white neck engineer. It's because I get tan. I don't just burn. Ibrahim, thank you for the follow, or the sub on YouTube. Thank you. Besides, being a redneck isn't really about the color of your skin in any way. I know it sounds like it should, based on, well, what the two words mean separately, but it doesn't. Should you buy an X670E and a 7900 GRE or a B650 and a 7900 XT? I would go the other route, the second route. What up, Grandpa? Step in my shower. Yes, this is a Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. I use it all the time. Okay, we're just gonna get a bunch of this on here. Like that. Could you stay there, please? Thank you. And then get a handy dandy spatula. You'll be right back. I'm actually gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab a napkin or whatever these are called, paper towel. Sorry, puppy, I'm not coming over to pet you right now. Okay. Put a little more on there. It's a little bit easier to spread it if you just have a bunch extra on the CPU. You don't have to do it this way. I just like to do it this way to ensure that like I have full coverage on the CPU. And we just wipe off all the excess. Why the gloves? Just to keep everything clean. I don't want the oils and stuff from my hands getting all over stuff and vice versa. I don't want, you know, thermal paste getting on my hands all the time. Okay. It's looking pretty good. All right, we'll call that good. CPU cooler time. It's more about just cleanliness. I'm not really worried about static electricity. It's really not something that has ever caused a problem. I didn't wear gloves for a long time and never once had to worry about static electricity. It's actually pretty hard to ruin computer parts with static electricity these days. My buddy got a pre-built against my advice. I even sent him your store link, and he has stutters in Warzone. Oh. Maybe he'll learn. Okay, got that side all tightened down. Changing all my platform profiles to white neck engineer. You should. What's up, Mini Pex? How we doing? This is not the MSI Tomahawk. This is the MSI Pro B650. I actually saw a video that said it's worse to spread the thermal paste because it might not get... no. You can, spreading it is exactly what is going to happen when you put pressure on it. The only difference is if you put a bunch of thermal paste on it and you don't pre-spread it, then you can have really thick spots of thermal paste. If you pre-spread it like this, you can ensure that you have the right amount. You don't need that much, you don't need very much thermal paste on the actual CPU. Like, you want just the thinnest of layers in order to just barely fill in all the little like microscopic ridges and valleys in the material. So yeah, you really don't need very much. So you're not gonna like not fill it up if you have the thermal paste already pre-spread, you know. It won't happen. You won't have to worry about that as long as you spread it properly. By that I mean, you know, make sure it's spread across the whole CPU. If you can get him in game, his name is Camper Nation. Well, if I happen to run into him in game, which is probably unlikely, I'll make sure to tell him that he made the wrong choice. Okay, CPU cooler is installed. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah, there's an M.2 right here. Just right underneath the CPU cooler there. I think it's worth having the 9950X, or just, I mean, what are you doing with are you gaming, Prof, or what are you doing with your system? On farm equipment, we need to hit our electronic stuff every couple of years. Should that be done on computers too? Yeah, you need to replace your thermal paste every year or two. Does this have a thing on that? Hold on. Yeah, it does. There we go. Protective plastic. There's peel number 3. Okay, got that. Sorry, you haven't connected a little bit. Finally picked up. Oh, you picked all the components for your build? Hey, let's go. I would recommend doing the fan on the heatsink in the case. I mean, we're gonna manage it in the case once it's in there. I just like, it's easier to plug it in when you have free hand access. Trust me, this is build number 221. I kind of know what I'm doing. What up, Aaron? How we doing? It does look a lot like your build, doesn't it?
4.
Okay, cool. Yeah, send me some times and we'll get it sorted out. Hey, thank you for the subs on YouTube. If you're only gaming 7800X 3D all the way, yeah, exactly. Heavy gaming and video editing. Yeah, I would probably go with the 7950X 3D still, just because you're gonna have that 3D cache for better gaming performance. Is a 5600X and a 3060 with 16 gigs of RAM good combo for your first build? It's a great combo for your first build. Especially if you can get some good deals on it, you know? Because all that stuff is like, you know, it's a little bit older now. Oops, I bumped my head on the camera back there. Hopefully I didn't ruin it. Let me just check real quick. Nope, that looks okay. All right, so this is the NZXT H5 Flow RGB. Why do you not put it together, the RAM? You're not supposed to. This is how you put your RAM in there in order to ensure it can run in dual channel mode. Planning to get 32 gigs down the line. Yeah, that's you know, it's good to have. If you do that, just make sure when you buy the next set of RAM down the line, it needs to be identical to the kit you already have, or you need to get a 32 gig kit rather than another set of 16. It's a great case, and with this like cool fan for the GPU, it's pretty awesome. I really like it. I was going to build a 2K gaming and streaming PC. The 7600 and a 4060 a good choice. The 4060 is really not meant for 2K gaming. Like it's just not, it's not great for 2K gaming. I would jump up to the 4060 Ti if you can, or get like a used 3070 or something. Because the 4060 just isn't ideal for 2K gaming. Okay, got all our accessories out here. We're gonna put this back down. Drink some water. Can you see the power button layout? The power button layout on what? Is the 7900 good for 2K? Yes. I mean, I don't know too much about the 7900 GRE, but based on its price point, I think even that would be good for 2K. I mean, considering 7900 is the most powerful GPU that AMD makes, I would hope it's good for 2K gaming. You're getting the H5 as your first case. It's a great case. I really like it. Okay, we're just gonna scooch on in here. Just gonna scooch on back. Okay, got our little locator. Okay, we got all those in there. I'm just gonna set that down for there right now. Okay, everything looks like it's lining up. It's great. 7800X3D and a 4060. No, you need to get a better GPU than that. Can never remember if it's. I think it's the 6x32. So let's double check. I haven't used an NZXT case in a hot minute. B650 Gaming Plus, Wi-Fi, a good motherboard. If you're gonna go that combo with everything else, you should get a better motherboard. Like if you're going MSI, like get the Carbon, or maybe get like an Asus TUF. Don't cheap out on your motherboard. It's a terrible, terrible thing that a lot of pre-built companies will do, but don't do it. Okay, where are we at here? Fans and radiator motherboard installation. It says B. Doesn't tell me anything. Oh, here we go. 6x32 B. Yep, I was right. It is 6x32. Should I get 10 A6000s or 5 A5100s? Talking about cameras? Or are you talking about like Nvidia GPUs? Why not cheap out on the motherboard? The motherboard is the nervous system of your entire PC. Everything that happens on your computer goes through the motherboard. So if you get a crappy motherboard, you're gonna have a crappy experience. It's not gonna be as good at providing power to your high-end CPU and GPU. It's not gonna have as good of quality of power. Like the data transfer isn't gonna be as good. It's not gonna be able to support all of the like higher end stuff that you're trying to put into it. Yeah, just don't. A B450 for 30 bucks? I mean, if you're trying to build a really cheap, if you're trying to build a computer for on the cheap, sure. Jay Schaefer, you built a 2K build with your son with the GRE, got it for $499. It runs COD at 200 FPS. There you go. See. Yeah, I haven't done much research on the GRE. Like, it's significantly cheaper than the other 7900s, but I haven't looked too much at the specs to like understand why and what, like how good or bad it is. What could cause bad frame times with the any number of things, like, you know, out of date software, out-of-date drivers, old BIOS, a bunch of junk in your system, like on your computer, like you haven't refreshed your Windows ever, or cleaned out your drive, or maybe your drive is full, or maybe your RAM isn't XMP'd. There's lots of things that could be going on. I am live on YouTube twice, so I have a vertical stream and a horizontal stream on YouTube, and then I have live on Kick as well. Why does the case have white fans? Because they're RGB. So the fans themselves are RGB, so they light up. Okay, there we go. The rest of these can go in my little pan over here. Should you use an MSI B450? It kind of depends on what else you got going on in your system. Everything with a computer needs to be holistic. Like, you can't think about just one component or two components. Like, everything needs to be selected so that it all works well together. You know? Good GPU for a 7800X3D on a 4K monitor. I would say like the cheapest you want to go is like a 4070 Ti. If you're trying to play in 4K, ideally you would probably jump up all the way to like a 4080 Super. Each motherboard will tell you what RAM slots to use. Yeah, I mean, they should tell you, like, I mean, it's always the same, but it's just second and fourth slots if you're counting from the left. Unless you're doing like a server build or something, but yeah. It's pretty straightforward. Peel number 5, you're just counting whatever you want right now, Siebes. There's no basis in reality. What do you think about budget PCs, $500, $700? If you're gonna try and spend that little, then you need to build it yourself. Like, if you're gonna spend that little, like, you need to try and build it yourself, and you probably need to find some used components in order to, you know, keep the budget down. Because I wouldn't trust a pre-built at that price from anyone. All right, USB-C is going up here. Okay. The Ryzen 4070. I recognize it this time. Somebody told me in the comments, they're like, hey, dum-dum, the Ryzen 4070 is a joke. I was like, oh, I thought I was the joke. I'm just kidding. They were really nice about it, but I had no idea. I had people tagging ZTT, like not even like tagging, but just like ZTT a bunch of times in videos, and I was like, what are you guys talking about? They're like, oh, it's a YouTuber. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. Okay, so we got all that stuff plugged in, and I almost forgot. You guys, I can't believe you guys can't let me do this. What specs are the best for Minecraft? You can play Minecraft with pretty low-end specs, to my knowledge. I've never played Minecraft, so I don't really know. They make like a minimum recommended things for like all these different games. Get a PS5 or Xbox for $500 and spend the rest of your money on a monitor. Yeah, like unless you plan on upgrading it over time. It's kind of how it's gonna go, huh? Okay, so. Got this. It's Lazy Susan. She's here. Okay. We've got an RGB header down there, and we've got one up top. Well, we have more than those, but those are the only 5-volt ones. So let's run this guy down here. Okay, so that's going to control RGB for the front fans. And I don't think there's any built-in RGB on this case, just the fans. Okay. Then we got this rear exhaust fan that we need to plug in somewhere. But if you build one, don't use Intel right now. They're releasing a new, I think they're releasing their like microcode update and stuff to fix their issues. But yeah, personally, I would still go with AMD. Unless, the only time I think Intel kind of makes sense right now is if you're going more on the budget end and you want to do something like gaming and streaming from it, or maybe like editing or recording, because you do get a lot more cores for the price with Intel, which can be nice. But if you're just strictly gaming, yeah, I would stick with AMD right now, just because of the issues they're having. Granted, those issues should be gone here pretty soon, but you never know. They say that. I need to check. I think they might have actually released their new microcode update. It's just kind of in the air maybe of how good of a job it does of fixing the stability issues. Okay, got all that. Gonna tie these guys together. Okay, we'll, don't trust that to stay together. You have a 13700K, I probably should have looked into AMD. I mean, you bought it that long ago, you wouldn't have known any better. Like, the whole stability issue stuff wasn't really super public knowledge back then, so there's not really much you could do. But just make sure you update your BIOS pretty soon, like in the next month, and you should be fine. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about anything. If you're still like using it and you haven't had issues yet, you're probably okay, and your GPU or CPU probably isn't susceptible. Yeah, that was a hard word to get out apparently. Your CPU probably isn't susceptible to the issue, but you know, never hurts. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, that's all in there. I think we're gonna clip this one right now. Sent that one flying. Okay. All right, so we got all that. Kind of tuck that down a little bit. That stuff's all plugged in. It's kind of roughly routed. I don't want this going over here because we didn't actually route it that way. Okay, this stuff's all just kind of jumble mess down there. I can just run that over there, huh? Okay. Let's get some cable ties out. I think all of them, I need to grab some more out of here. Ooh, I'm running out of cable ties, folks. I went through like 100 of these now. What power supply would you get for a 4060? At minimum, I would get like a 650 watt, 80 plus gold certified. If you think you might upgrade your system down the line, I would consider getting something a little bit higher wattage, like get like an 850. If you think like maybe down the road you'll want a better GPU or something, it's always nice to be able to just keep your power supply and not upgrade it, because one, like you got to rerun all those lines, and two, power supplies are good for a long time. Like if you buy a good quality power supply, I mean, obviously there's premature failures, you know, all the time, but like, for instance, this Seasonic Focus has a 10-year warranty. So if you buy a power supply that you can, you know, upgrade all the rest of your system, but not have to touch your power supply, like you'll be thankful you did, because it'll last for a long time. Okay. $700 gaming PC, what can you get? I'm not sure. You might have to build it yourself. $700. If you build it yourself, like you could get yourself like a 5600X maybe, or like a 5500, and you know, maybe get like a used 20 or 30 series GPU, or maybe like a 6600 XT. from AMD. Undervolting 5700X 3D could help. Have you you checked your drivers? Did you check your BIOS? How long have you had the system? Okay. Okay, we got all those up there. All right, let's get our power cables in here, and those are gonna kind of run over here, but I don't want to tie these down until I have my power cables back here. And then, yeah, we'll be in pretty good shape here. Thank you for the new subs on YouTube, appreciate that. If you insert all your parts into PC Part Picker, will give you an estimate of how much. Yeah, that's what I would use. Is just like use PC Part Picker and pick stuff, and it has compatibility stuff. The only thing you'll have to think about is maybe like bottlenecking a little bit, but like at that price range, bottlenecking isn't really a primary concern. Would you recommend a 7950X 3D? Yeah, it's a great CPU. Woo, caught it. What do you prefer, Ryzen or Intel? I'm an AMD fan over Intel. My first PC I built had an AMD. What's in the collection? Type in !specs Nolik, and it should give you all of the specs for the whole PC. I think Botrex is working on both YouTube chats right now, so I want to test that out. How fast is a good SSD M.2? I would say like a good one these days for like without paying very much money is like if you can get between 4,000 and 6,000 like read-write speeds, like sequential read-write speeds, you're in pretty good shape. And like you're never gonna have to like, unless you have crazy fast internet or something and you're transferring massive files all the time, you're never really gonna utilize the full speed while you're like gaming and stuff. If you're editing, you might utilize it. AR King, of course I remember. How you doing? Okay. We don't actually have any SATA powered components in here, so we don't need those. Glad to hear that. All right, motherboard, CPU. That's the CPU. 12 HP power, we don't need that, but it's an AMD. GPU, and another GPU. Yeah, I don't think we need two of those, but we'll grab them anyways. If we don't need it, we don't need it. New to your channel, I take it you build PCs? I do. I build PCs, I sell PCs. That is kind of the crux of the channel. I also, try and make content around either building computers or what's going on with new computers, or just interesting content that has to do with computers. All right, so technically this has two CPU power headers, but we really don't need two. There we go. Some nice fans in the front. God damn. Yeah. Got those nice RGB fans, courtesy of NZXT. Those are Those are the ones that come with the case here with the NZXT H5 Flow RGB. Okay, now that we got that in there, let's, oh here's some zip ties. What can you get for a $900 budget? That's a good question. $900. $300 you could get a 4060. Then maybe call it another $200 or $170. You can get a Ryzen 5, like AM5 CPU. So that puts you at 500. Call it 150 for a decent motherboard. So that puts you at 750. 850 for a good set. 850 puts you with a good set of RAM. 900. So, you need a case and a power supply still. You might need to go like AMD, or get a used GPU to do something like that. Or you could go with like a 5600X or like a 5800X and a 4060 essentially with, you know, all the other good stuff. Okay, so got all that.
What up, Red?
That's in there. Motherboard, GPU power. What's the best PC you've built so far? You should check out the stream we just did for Spartacus. That's probably one of the most powerful ones we've done. Yeah. The best one, I don't know, like my personal PC is probably one of the best ones. It's like all AMD, all water cooled PC. I really like that one. We've done a lot. I don't know, there's been so many builds now. Like we have over 200 builds that we've done now. It's hard to pick one. You know? Like a 7700 is good. Don't really mind AMD GPUs. The 7700 is a good GPU for sure. That's what we're using in this one. B550 Aorus Elite V2 compatible with Ryzen 3 Pro V. I don't know if that's on AM4. I think it might be. It probably is. Okay, let's get our GPU out real quick and just see how many power cables we need. Real quick. Just real fast. Super fast. We need 2. Okay, cool. Set that down for a second. So we do need both of these. We're gonna get our power supply installed here. Do I sell pre-builts? Yes. I've only got a couple on the website right now. As soon as my new website gets up, I'll have a bunch of options, which is why I'm desperate for it to hurry up and go live. But it will be up this week. My new website will be up this week, and there will be 4 different levels of AMD PCs with Nvidia GPUs, and then 4 levels of PCs with Intel CPUs and Nvidia GPUs. You can also do the custom build form, and I will put together a build list and a quote for you, and then you can we can make changes to it or whatever, and you can buy a PC that way. But will be shipping outside the US, then you'll have to do the custom build. If we're gonna ship outside like US or Canada, then like you got to do the custom build because we'll have to figure out, rough shipping cost and any import taxes and all that sort of stuff. We're not really set up to be able to do that automatically on the site. Do I only stream on YouTube? I stream on YouTube and Kick right now. What up, Richard? Van, welcome in. Got a 1440p 32-inch curved monitor at 180 hertz. Need something to keep up. Your range is 950 to 1500. Okay, definitely gonna want to be at the upper range of that if you're playing games like, FPS shooter type games, because, yeah, 1440p at 180 hertz is pretty blazing fast, Okay, let's get these guys kind of pre-routed through here a little bit. Just kind of stick them through there. Like so. And we'll get our GPU out here. A 5700X with a 3060. It's a pretty good little pairing. Are 4 fans, 420 millimeter fans enough if you include the CPU cooler? It really depends on, what CPU and GPU you have, if that's enough. And it depends on what your case looks like. Like, case airflow is important. So, like, if you have a case that doesn't have, like, this nice open area, and it's, like, more closed off, then 4 fans might not be enough. Yeah, I can ship outside the US. I just can't do it on like a pre-built one that you can just like buy directly off the website. It'll be a custom build, even if it is something that would basically be something off the website, if that makes sense. I've shipped to the UK. I've shipped to Canada. And that's about it. Most of the time, like just the cost of shipping that far usually makes it hard for me to be competitive, like to be competitive in that local market when it costs that much to ship and then you have to pay import taxes and all that good stuff. These have got to have a cover for it, right? Kind of looks like they don't. All right, we're just gonna say they don't. Nobody's ever gonna look at those fans, but whatever. Okay, we're all good there. All right, so we got that. Now we need to, let's loosen these up a little bit. Get that out of the way. Pull a couple of these brackets off. What was Castro's question? No, yeah, I stream on Kick and YouTube. I actually have 2 YouTube streams up. I have the vertical one, and then I have a horizontal one too, if you're interested in watching the stream in landscape mode rather than vertical. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, 2-slot card. Got 2 slots open. Let's take out some of these guys because they tend to get in the way. All right, let's open up our PCIe slot there. And we're just gonna, ready? Click. Boom. Oops. Okay. Windows Home or Pro? I use Pro. All right, let's get all these dust covers back in, please. Thank you. Slide this guy back, like so. Tighten it up just a little bit. And now we can do just a little more cable management, and we're basically good to go. Okay. Okay, let's get our GPU power cables plugged in here. Words are hard. Okay. All right, got that. We'll just kind of pull them back through here. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, got that. Take a cable tie. GPU installation was satisfying. Yeah. Just join what are the specs? Type in !specs, Billy. Noxbot has decided Botrix has decided it's actually working on the vertical stream today. So just type in SPECS, !SPECS, and it'll give you the full list of specs for this system. Crazy, right, Richard? It's actually working today. Okay, we're just gonna slide that to the back like this. Okay, this one actually is not visible, so we're good there. Can I ask a PC issue question? Yes, no, no promises I can answer it, but we'll try. Okay, let's clip all those zip ties. Let me throw one more guy right here. Okay. Now we can clip all these zip ties. It's looking pretty good. I don't know what happened here. Why are you not with your friends? You too short? You too shorts for your friends? There we go. Okay. What do we think of that cable management, huh? I think that looks pretty good. I personally think that looks pretty smashing. What do you think? One's in chat if you guys are happy with that. Richard says ones. Okay. Botrix a little slow today. Pick up the pace. If you went DDR4 with a 5000 series CPU, you can't have DDR5 with a 5000 series CPU. It is not possible. I click the power button and it gives a second of power and turns back off instantly. DRAM and CPU light are both red when it powers on for a second. You test your RAM sticks. Honestly, if it just powers on for a second and then powers back off, it could very likely be a power supply issue. Usually if there's a CPU or RAM issue, it will power up and then will just not post, but it usually won't like turn immediately back off from that. Usually if there's a CPU or RAM issue, it won't just turn right back off. It will stay on and try and post, and then it won't post. Your cable management is held together by the rear panel of your PC. It's fair. It's okay. That's some fire RAM. Yeah, dude, this is a good looking little computer, if I do say so myself. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. What are the first things you need to do after you finish building a PC before jumping into game? You finish building it, update the BIOS, turn on XMP, make sure resize bar and stuff is all enabled in the BIOS, set all your fans. And then you have to install Windows. It doesn't come with Windows. If you build the PC yourself, you're gonna have to install Windows, so you have to do that. Update everything, download GPU drivers, download motherboard drivers, and then you can start downloading games. There's a few things, just a few things. Okay. So, I think you all might know what time it is, because the PC is built. It's done. There's nothing left to do except for to turn it on for the first time ever. So, I want you all, every single one of you, to put in your absolutely favorite, I want to see your favorite emoji in the chat, all right? Well, I think I have a good scene for this too, for the vertical. I'll pull it a little further away. All right, you should get to see the whole thing, okay? I want your favorite emoji in the chat right now. Everybody do it. If you don't do it, I can't turn this computer on. That's the law. I don't make the rules, okay? I don't make the rules. Once you do it a couple times, it kind of becomes second nature. Oh, it is very scary the first time you do it. Half of PC building is like not necessarily hard, but scary. I won't lie. I won't lie to you. There we go. Look at all these emojis. Look at them all flying on the screen. I can feel the power. I can feel the power working. We're gonna be able to turn this computer on. I believe in it. I believe. Don't worry, that flicker always happens. All right, so here's what we got. A Ryzen 5 7600X. We got this ID Cooling Frozen A410 CPU cooler, 32 gigs of CL32-6400 Team Group RAM, an ASRock Challenger OC RX 7700 XT, 1 terabyte SSD, also from Team Group. We've got the MSI Pro B650P Wi-Fi motherboard, a 750 watt Seasonic power supply, and the NZXT H5 Flow in RGB. First ever power up. Here it is. Boom. Ready, I'll hide so you can get the full effect here. What do we think, chat? What do we think? What's up, MJ? How we doing? Those RAM LEDs going crazy. I didn't mess up again. I know, right? Believe it or not, that is usually the case. I usually don't mess up at all. Gonna have to spend the rest of my day researching frozen coolers. Yeah, this ID Cooling makes some really nice coolers. Yippee! It looks good. Thank you, gamer. I dream to own a PC someday. I believe in it. Yeah, and it's all addressable RGB, so this is all stuff that you can change the colors on. It doesn't have to be, you know, cycling through different colors all the time. How much are all the parts for this build? The parts for this build by itself, I think, are around $1,300. No, maybe a little less than that. Billy, if you go to the description of the video, there are Amazon affiliate links if you want to click on those and see the prices of all these different stuff. Obviously, you don't have to buy anything. If you do, please buy them through the affiliate links. It helps me out. It doesn't cost you guys anything. So throwing that out there. If you guys are interested in any of these components or maybe building this entire thing, you can do that by following those Amazon affiliate links, purchasing, and I will get a little kickback from Amazon as a thank you from you guys. You were about to get this case? Well, go find it in the description, hit that affiliate link, and give me some free money, okay? You messed up the first time I watched you live. I know, but like, it's very rare. It doesn't happen very often that it gets messed up, you know? Trying to work with a PC part picker list for a buddy. Oh, nice. Guess you're a new subscriber here. Appreciate that, Darkness. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Your PC is now only collecting dust. That's sad, MJ. So sad. You think 650 would be enough for... Yeah, I think it would be, gamer. And like a 1080p monitor? Yeah, that'd be a really good little setup. You think Nashua CPU coolers are worth it? Oh, they're worth it. They're great, great coolers. They're not, these days, if you're going for like a higher end air cooler, they're not that much more expensive than like their competition though, which is kind of the crazy part. Like you can get an NHU 12S for, I think like 80 bucks. And like an equivalent cooler from like Be Quiet or even from ID Cooling, like you're looking at 60 to 70. So they are a little bit more expensive, but like they make really, really good products. Really good products. And quiet. PC's dope. Hey, thank you. Okay. I want to play, but I'm in Atlanta until further notice. Oh. The Kraken Elite. The Kraken Elite is a, I wouldn't say a waste of money, because it's a cool CPU cooler, but it is very much you're paying for the brand and you're paying for that LCD screen. Super Cyan coming in with a follow or the sub on YouTube. Thank you. One of PC's advantages is that you get a free cooling on a winter day. It's very true. You turn that thing on and your room gets warm. It's very true. Okay, that is going to be it for the stream today. I really appreciate all y'all coming in, hanging out, chatting, asking questions, watching the stream, getting all excited when we turn it on. I love all of it. So never stop asking questions, even if you think it's a dumb question. Just ask it. I might ignore it, I might not see it, but I'll do my best to answer it. And I appreciate y'all for coming in. We will see you on the next stream. Have a good night. Gamer, I appreciate you becoming a sub. Hope you all have a great night. We will see you on the next one. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.